Who's that? Commander Claw. Who's bad? Commander Claw. Welcome back to another episode of Breaking Brews. This is episode 2, specifically for Vincent Valentine. I had to make another video. He is an ever mono black popular commander. And I'm excited for card number 2. Welcome back to another episode of Breaking Brews. This is episode 2, specifically for Vincent Valentine. I had to make another video. He is an ever mono black popular commander. And I'm excited for card number 2. Welcome back to another episode of Breaking Brews. This is episode 2, specifically for Vincent Valentine. That I'm going to showcase you. I haven't seen on anybody else's deck list. And I just happened to just go by because I was looking for artifacts in my research. And I was like, ooh, interesting. I think you're going to like this card. But without further ado, let's get into this commander. Y'all know what he does. He's a commander damage type of focused commander. You need to have sack outlets so you can prevent him from dying when he's the giant beast. And he just goes back to the assassin mode. So let's talk about Vincent Valentine. Focus commander, you need to have sack outlets so you can prevent him from dying when he's the giant beast. And he just goes back to the assassin mode. So let's talk about Vincent Valentine. Focus commander, you need to have sack outlets so you can a good combat trick to instantly, possibly do enough commander damage if there's the right amount of power on your commander is Asterian's Thirst. For 3 and a black, it is an instant. And just to let you know who Asterian is actually a commander that is Orzhov colors, and he's that vampire on the right-hand side of the artwork. Pretty cool commander. I actually have him in my Megatron deck, Destructive Tyrant. Anyway, back to the card. It's an instant speed spell that says exile target creature. Put X +1/+1 counters on a commander creature you control, where X is that power of the creature exiled this way. This could be your creature that is maybe a 10/10, or maybe your opponent has gotten crazy with an 11/11 Darksteel Colossus out on the battlefield, and you just need to use it. Just use it to your advantage. Why not exile that creature and give your commander, the Galian Beast, 11 +1/+1 counters and deal enough for commander damage and win the game? So this is my favorite card for you right now. Jinxed Idol. For 2 mana is an artifact. At the beginning of your upkeep, Jinxed Idol deals 2 damage to you. Ouch. Okay. Then it says sacrifice a creature. Target opponent gains control of Jinxed Idol. So scenario 1 is this is a sack outlet for you and the Galian Beast. Remember, when Galian Beast dies, it comes back as Vincent Valentine. So you want to do that to prevent opponents removing single target removal of Galian Beast. Okay. However, when you do that, you donate Jinxed Idol to an opponent. So they are left in a situation where at the beginning of the upkeep, they take 2 damage, right? And they have to sacrifice a creature to donate Jinxed Idol to somebody else. However, remember, when you have Vincent Valentine and a creature dies that opponent controls, you get to put that many X +1/+1 counters equal to their power, I believe. So this is a win-win. And don't forget, the Galian Beast has lifelink. So even if you lost 2 damage earlier, you possibly can gain it back whenever you deal damage as the Galian Beast. My favorite card for you. Let me know in the comment section if you have any other cards and if you like this card. Moving on. So this card here is super synergistic. Chain Assassination for 2 and a black. It's an instant. Has the ability free running. This is from the Assassin's Creed set. Everything is assassins in Assassin's Creed set. And what do you know? We have an assassin commander. Anyway, free running for 1 and a black. You may cast this spell for its a free running cost if you dealt combat damage to a player this turn with an assassin or commander. Okay. Then it says destroy target creature. If another creature dies this turn, draw a card. So this is for pretty much 2 mana, creature removal, and draw a card, all for 2 mana. Great if you have those scenarios, which most likely you will have. So look, Vincent Valentine and Galian Beast, you got to deal damage to your opponents. Otherwise, the deck is pointless. So why not be rewarded? We have Night Dealings for 2 and 2 black. It's an enchantment. Whenever a source you control deals damage to another player, put that many theft counters on Night Dealings. All right, then tap 2 and 2 black. Remove X theft counters from night dealings. Search your library for a non-land card with converted mana cost X. Reveal it and put it into your hand to shuffle your library. So this is a tutor that's able to sit on the battlefield as long as you're dealing damage through a source to your opponents, right? Okay, so this is kind of one of those mid to late game cards, and you just have a pretty much a demonic tutor on an instant. I mean, on an enchantment, ready to go. Just tap 4 mana. So I like this card because if you never played mono black, there's ways to tutor, but there's not a way to really cast spells off the top of your library, right? So Into the Pit for 2 black, for 2 and a black. It's an enchantment. You may look at the top card of your library anytime. You may cast spells from the top of your library by sacrificing a non-land permanent in addition to paying their other cost. So probably in your Vincent Valentine deck, Galian Beast deck, you have a lot of single target removal or instant speed removal, such as edicts, right? So if you're able to possibly play that card while it's on top of your library, it makes you potentially even more of a threat. And you want to do that anyway to put those +1/+1 counters on Vincent Valentine. So the real strength of this card is pretty much that top card of your deck is like an additional card in hand if it meets the criteria. Thank you for watching this episode of Vincent Valentine. I believe it's episode 2, Breaking Brews. Let me know if you got any more cards that you suggest for this commander. It's been some time now that Final Fantasy has been released, so you probably got some interesting pet cards or interesting cards that just work well with this commander. Thank y'all for watching. Commander Claw. Peace.